Palia has two new pieces of news that dropped this week, and I'm going to tell you a bit about what they potentially mean for the game. The first that I'll cover is that Palia is getting European dedicated servers in the next major patch. This should help alleviate some of the major problems with latency that players throughout and around Europe have when generally playing the game, and should make things like future events easier to handle. That said, this doesn't really help those outside of Europe or NA, I guess, unless you're closer to Europe. And this whole system does come with some potential drawbacks. If we go back to some of the older Q&As done by the team, we can see that the initial plan for dedicated servers was for there to be an international split. So NA can only play with NA and EU could only play with EU. On top of this, there was never a plan to give people the ability to choose their own servers. So if all of this is true, we would effectively be splitting the community in half. What this means is that come next week, it's entirely possible for you to just wake up and see half of your friends never be able to log into your server to play with you again. I do want to say that this is all conditional on Singularity 6 making the worst possible decision regarding server implementation, and that I know that it's entirely possible that server crossover, so players jumping side to side, is possible. But you know, expect the worst, hope for the best. The other piece of news, and one that I'll talk much more about than that, is, well, Palia is coming to the Epic Store on October 24th instead of Steam, a decision that I'm sure baffled absolutely everyone that saw it. What does this change actually mean for players, and why did they do it? For the current players of the game, this doesn't really change much. You'll still be able to log into the game, play in it, meet your friends, maybe even meet new friends, and spend $30 per patch to give your character a poorly colored outfit if you so choose. The only difference is that you might see an influx of new players as Singularity 6 attempts to tap into Epic's nearly 58 million monthly active users, a number that's totally not inflated by people logging in once a month to claim a free new game, or by Fortnite being on the platform. And the game can still release on any consoles that Singularity 6 chooses. Now, before I get into the weeds of this whole thing and tell you why, which will scare everyone away, I would like to ask you to please like and subscribe if you enjoy or found the video informative or anything like that, because I'm trying pretty hard right now to reach 1,000 subs here on YouTube, and every bit helps. Thank you. Now, on to the other half of this section, and I guess a bit of a conspiratorial rant. Why choose Epic over the much larger, more established, and the one with the honestly much more favorable public opinion, Steam? Well, I see two potential reasons for this. The first one is a bit more obvious. Steam has a 70-30 revenue split, meaning the devs keep 70% of the money made on the platform while Steam keeps 30%. It's like if I went to McDonald's and bought a 20-piece chicken McNugget set. On Steam, I have to immediately give 6 of those nuggets to my friend, so I only get to keep 14. On the other hand, with Epic, they have an 88-12 revenue split. So instead of 14, I now get to keep 17 full nuggets and about half of a mangled one. I don't know why I'd want that half, but it's there. This sounds 1,000 times better. So why would anyone go to Steam then? The simple truth is that while Epic Games uses tricks and also buys out established gaming ecosystems in order to reach its 58 million monthly active users, Steam, without those tricks, still has over double that at about 120 million monthly active users. On top of that, Steam has a more functional, if not weird, system that tends to push good games to players who would actually enjoy them the most. While I personally would still choose Steam every single time, just because the long-term benefits of being on the larger and better platform are quite clear to me, it isn't exactly hard to see where the short-term gains are. I will say, though, that there is one more thing muddying the waters quite a bit here, and I'm honestly not sure how it all falls into this quite yet. So back in August, Epic Games announced a new program, Epic First Run, that would allow any new games to keep 100% of their revenue for 6 months if they exclusively release on Epic's store for the duration of those months. There are some caveats to that, but let's just say that Palia actually does meet most of them, if not all of them. So suddenly, you get to keep all 20 of your nuggets for 6 months. When did this program actually start to go into effect? When can I start making games and releasing them on Epic for this 100% revenue split? Monday, October 16th. That's right, the day before this announcement. I'll be completely honest right now, I'm not 100% sure if Palia qualifies to be in this program because First Run is meant to be for newly launched games coming on or after the 16th, but Palia first became playable on August 10th officially. This really depends on the negotiations and deals behind the scenes that I wouldn't be privy to because Palia technically has been sitting in beta access this entire time. But if they are part of Epic's First Run, then that means that Singularity 6 would be contractually barred from bringing the game to Steam, Xbox's PC Game Pass, or any other PC marketplaces for the next 6 months. So what about me? Do I think that Palia is in this program? Well, honestly, the timing couldn't line up any better. They literally announced it the day after the program took effect and are launching on Epic a week after it kicks in. Oh, and they also did that shaky answer thing they like to do in their FAQ for this when they know that people won't like the answer they provide. You know, that thing when they just sort of lie or give half-truths and hope that people never notice. Also, it would just make sense to me. Since its release, Singularity 6 has often taken the path of short-term profit over long-term gains. And my final reason for suspecting that this is the case? The lack of player-to-player trading. It just fits in with Epic's latest stupid decisions of barring player-to-player trading. So that's it. Long Conspiracy is over. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns about either of these two editions, feel free to comment them below, and I might make a follow-up video on them in the future. Here are the people who make this possible, and have a nice day. Oh my god, I got through a recording in less than 10 minutes. That's amazing.